Good afternoon. I'm Sophia Hazelby. I'm from Renishaw. I'm an automation software engineer, and this is Kabul Maharjan. You've probably all seen him. He's a automation software technical manager here at Renishaw as well. Also a LabVIEW champion, and he's one of the volunteers that you probably saw on the screen earlier that has helped organise today's event. So Renishaw, first of all, some of you may have heard of us, but we are basically a metrology company. We celebrated our 50th birthday this year, so we're now 5 decades old. We've got 77 locations in 36 countries across the globe, 5,000 employees in total, or just over now, and 3,000 of those are based in the UK. So I've got a quick video here just to show you who we are, what we do, and some of our products.
Have you ever been impressed by the miracle of flight? Fulfilled a childhood dream? Been charmed by a smile? Or marveled at the beauty of the stars? And have you ever stopped to think of how innovation in measurement technology impacts you and billions of people every day? For over 4 decades, Renishaw has been at the forefront of the metrology industry. Through our innovations in accurate measurement, complex motion control, and precision machining, we have been helping manufacturers around the globe become efficient and ever more precise. In the realm of healthcare, Renishaw excels too. Our award-winning measurement know-how is helping industries as diverse as neurosurgery, dentistry, chemical analysis, and nanotechnology. As the future beckons, our technology continues to be adopted in an increasing number of places. You'll find us in fields as widespread as additive manufacturing and large-scale surveying. Wherever we operate, Renishaw goes from strength to strength. And our pioneering staff and the communities we work in will continue to be at the heart of who we are.
So that's us. We operate in loads of varied areas. I just wanted to focus on some of our early career schemes at Renishaw. So over 12% of our UK workforce is actually on an early careers scheme. So we invest very, very heavily in our graduates, our apprentices, and our placements. So that's summer and industrial placements. As you can see on your right-hand side, that's our New Mills site. So that's our headquarters. We're based down in Gloucestershire, South Gloucestershire, and it's in the middle of the countryside, really beautiful site, as you can see there. So that's where both Kabul and I are based. So moving on from that, we have an automation software graduate scheme. So I started on this scheme just over 2 years ago now. We get applicants from many different disciplines, so engineering, obviously, but also mechatronics, maths, physics, many different sort of STEM backgrounds that come in, and we train them from scratch. So predominantly we use LabVIEW as a programming language, but as automation software engineers, our job is to automate our manufacturing and testing processes just basically by designing jigs, some of which use NI hardware, which is why we often use LabVIEW. But we also use C# to program some of these jigs, and we use some of the tools on the left-hand side here. So Git, source control, Azure DevOps, and SQL for databasing. So you can see a sort of training timeline, I suppose, on the right-hand side of how we train our graduates as they come in. So this is a solid sort of 10 weeks almost of training. Most of the graduates that join us haven't even heard of LabVIEW, let alone used it during university, which is a bit of a shame. So we do pretty much start from scratch. I had core 1, 2, and 3 provided by NI when I was starting at Renishaw, but we now have started doing internal training. So I know Kabul has started doing some training just so that it's more sort of tailored to our use case, our framework, our architectures. And as I say, most of the graduates haven't even sort of heard of LabVIEW, so it is pretty much starting from scratch, which is a bit of a shame. I wish I'd sort of come across it a bit more at university and perhaps used it as opposed to tools like MATLAB or C++ and other things that we were also taught. At Renishaw, we also have a dedicated STEM team. We have a STEM outreach team, and then we have the STEM ambassadors from across the business. So I'm a STEM ambassador. You can apply as an engineer or anywhere else from within the business to become an ambassador. And we basically go out to local schools. So we've got links for schools in South Gloss, South Wales, and Bristol. So we might do careers fairs or mock interviews or whatever they may request that we go and do in local schools. In June, we also opened a STEM centre in our headquarters site, so in New Mills, the one I showed you previously. So this was opened literally in June this year. It's basically a dedicated space for school children to come into us. So it allows us to provide context for their learning, what they're currently learning in school, teach them a bit about STEM, and also sort of tell them about the opportunities that we offer in terms of, again, graduate schemes, apprenticeship schemes, and placements. I'm now just going to pass over to Kabul. Kabul is going to talk to you a bit about our framework that we use specifically, and then talk about STEM a bit afterwards.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay? Yep. Cool. So what we started doing at Renishaw is more take a step back and see how many different frameworks that we use. So what you'll see and behind me right now is a demonstration of one of the frameworks, which is based mainly on DQMH and HSC framework. I know Jörg is probably up at the tech cave right now. He's not presenting this year, but I'm representing him by wearing a purple shirt because quite a lot of what he's doing is what we're taking on board. Whoop, whoop. So the framework itself is taken out straight out of the HSC application template. If you've used that before, can I have a quick show of hands? Anyone used the HSC template? Heard of it? Okay, you should look it up. It's really cool. This demonstration kind of shows it. It creates the application template for us. This is customized for our use case, so the UI that you see and the couple of framework modules that you'll see have been modified. The internal data that we use for it, for the DQMH module, we use Goop class for that, and it's kind of bundled all in. And this is kind of where I want to point out that the community as a whole, we use it a lot. What we do within the company, the community output affects it a lot. And what you see here is a modified version of HSC's Startup VI. And the reason we've done what you see on screen right now is to make it easy for someone to create a new module and then make that module run from the Startup VI. HSC version of it relies on a text file, a config file, which kind of says launch this module, launch that module, which is dynamic. It's really good. For our use case, we wanted the module to exist on the block diagram, so the load module VI is placed on there, and then what you've just seen there is the show this UI front panel as a managed. So that's a loader. Then this demonstration has got a bit of a tic-tac-toe showing. I don't think I'm any good at tic-tac-toe, but it's a two-player game in this particular thing. It's not a versus a computer thing. It's just a teaching module that we have. A couple of things I want to point out is within the application architecture, what we've tried to do is make UI consistent across the production line, if you like. So what you see is built upon the HSC template. We do really like the events handler within it. We've kind of modified it again to use the HSC's logger system again, where it has got the 5 levels of debug info and so on. So if anyone wants to see any more of this, please feel free to chat to me afterwards. We are considering contributing back to the community as well by putting this up somewhere. We've not quite decided how far this is going to go yet. But the advantages of it is quite abundant. It encourages kind of a coding style without actually telling people to use a particular coding style. So I'm sure you've heard many people talk about this. So I even went to NI Week when it was NI Week back in 2019 to talk about standardization, where I think at the time we had about 5 different frameworks that we used internally, and now we're kind of trying to take all of those out and use what the community has and take it from there. Use what the community has and build on that rather than build our tools from scratch. I think we all had a bit of a glimpse from the first Pete Horn's presentation this morning about HSC's rat tool and the cat joke that went with it as well. We use all of these things. And I just wanted to take this time to kind of give a big thank you to all of you guys who contribute to the community, all the tools that you provide. I know some of them you might get paid for, some of them you might not. And yeah, I think we should just thank all these guys for using all these. I don't know if anyone uses them, but yeah, quick round of applause. So that's all the thank yous, and please carry on contributing to the community. What we have done as part of GDevCon now is also we have made it a traveling event. This year it's in Glasgow. As part of coming to Glasgow, Richard mentioned earlier that we did get a little grant of £2,000 for coming here. So as a way of kind of us giving back to the community, what we've done is given that money to the Glasgow Science Centre, who run STEM events over here, and they're running this, well, they have been running these sessions for STEM, getting schools to come in and solve this problem called cybersecurity. And I'm looking for some volunteers out of any other attendees during break times. They're looking for some industry experts to come and give a little, encouragement to these folks who school kids, effectively, who are trying to solve these problems. And that's the code that they're trying to crack. So if you think you want to do anything to support these guys in the break times and whatnot, do come and chat to me. I am looking for at least about 2 volunteers per session that they're running, and this is only for tomorrow now. So yeah, have a catch up with me, and I will paste a link to the thing that they do for the crack the code on the Discord announcement in a sec. So you can try and see if you can crack it, maybe not during the presentation, but during the break times or whatever. But that's us. That's Renishaw. That's GDevCon. That's us. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you.